How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and it is my belief that I'll put forward in this video, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll understand. DigiByte will mint more millionaires and billionaires than any other cryptocurrency in the space from today moving forward. I know that's a difficult measurement, a little difficult marker. Obviously, what's done is done. There's been plenty of millionaires and much wealth has been created from Bitcoin. But similarly, I think DigiByte is a perfect example of history repeating itself. And the reason why I say DigiByte will mint more is because the people who were first to the party in Bitcoin weren't as awake and aware. It was sort of it was still in its early stages, but the fact of the matter is it's easier to accumulate DigiByte because of the amount of awareness over cryptocurrency. So obviously there's no way to accurately predict how many areas of wealth will spring from the crypto, but I see DigiByte as a leader in blockchain, and it's certainly seeing the amount of wealth that's going to be created during this paradigm shift as we see this new technology called blockchain laying itself over on to the previous paradigm. Certainly DigiByte will be among the leaders in wealth creation comparatively. You think about it, and I know it's tough for people to wrap their imagination around this sort of concept, and it's difficult to think about it, but it's easier. It's more of like a hindsight is 2020 sort of situation. But I take you back to January of 2017 when we saw the price of Bitcoin at $750 to $920, and at that time, people would have never thought that by just a few short months later, by June of 2017, we'd see Bitcoin at 2,000 to 3,200 plus, and then of course history as it goes from there. These things I think often do distract people. People, there is sort of a Bitcoin centric hype. Of course, Bitcoin's price currently coming in at $9,484. But I think that it will be very interesting to see. For one, I'd cite articles such as this. The worst crisis in a century is setting the stage for Bitcoin, and I would argue that the current pandemic sort of does lend itself to DigiByte as well, and all the same arguments that people would make for Bitcoin are sort of tenfold when we talk about DigiByte, because if we're speaking from a strictly technology point of view, DigiByte beats Bitcoin in almost every metric, just because it's newer. It's from 2014. It's a newer model of Bitcoin. UTXO blockchain. Most decentralized, and if these are things that matter to you, there are some things that I think are quite disturbing for Bitcoin in terms of decentralization or challenges to its future and maintaining decentralization. So it will be interesting to see just how DigiByte is able to move itself forward. And of course the future of the internet and many of these different variables interconnected and very much alive within the ecosystem, especially while we see now more than ever more businesses are adapting to blockchain and are forced to basically into a position where they're backed up against a corner, and they have to either adapt or be delegated to the dustbin of the economic future. We have infinite quantitative easing along with the lockdowns, other measures that has been taken, especially by wealthier nations, is to throw money at the current pandemic. More than $8 trillion has been spent globally to counter the effects, and we're still in the throes of the crisis. It's becoming clear that $8 trillion is not enough. It's not even close to enough. In my opinion, money's moving in the wrong direction with that sort of thing. But I would argue that DigiByte does have the most room to grow out of anything. I mean, you look at the future of in the making, and it's quite obvious where things are going. We have, I mean, what's good for Bitcoin is good for DigiByte. So high Bitcoin outflows might be boom for prime brokerage. So it's not been an ideal period for Bitcoin exchanges over the past few months. Ever since the market suffered a major collapse in March of 2020, the number of Bitcoin on exchanges has continued to decline. Now, according to Glassnode's latest insight report, BTC outflow is reaching a new low. So, I mean, in contrast, Coinbase remains the most popular exchange for holding BTC with a current balance of 968,000 BTC, having decreased by only 0.2% since Black Thursday. Probably wouldn't recommend having your Bitcoin just sit on Coinbase. It seems contradictory. I think you'd probably want to have it on cold storage. But that's just my opinion. But there are a few alternatives to holding Bitcoins on an exchange if you want to trade, but new offerings in the prime brokerage space will lead to greater outflow from exchange-specific wallets. So yeah, I mean, it will be very interesting just to see what happens, and especially what happens to altcoins. I do think most of the space is overpriced right now. I mean, it is timing. I mean, some people have all sorts of different approaches to accumulating. So the aggregated cryptocurrency market has been struggling to spark a macro uptrend due to Bitcoin's inability to break above 10,000. It's that damn corona. So altcoins could see dire performance if market is rejected, and I think that these things are just inevitabilities. I mean, it's sort of why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. People who buy all their put all their money into crypto at a specific price are dumb to me, and emotional. It's important not to be overly emotional, but if emotions are your strategy, then whatever, do whatever you want. I mean, I'm not your dad, I'm not your financial advisor. This video is just for entertainment, educational purposes only. I have to say that. But yeah, so Cardano is at the top performers of the day. But yeah, I mean, I think, yes, I'm a firm believer that more millionaires will be minted off of the back of riding the wave of DigiByte than any other asset class currently. And it's one of the most interesting things currently happening is watching blockchains. And if we see a Bitcoin breaks bullish, past 10K, I mean, obviously none of these things are going to happen overnight, but it will be very interesting. So, however, are the markets making itself ready for a breakout above this resistance? I suppose we'll just have to see. $10,000 resistance level is quite critical. But anyways, now I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure that you guys comment down below and let us know what you think. Definitely share, subscribe, and tell your friends about DigiByte. I think it's awesome that I'm able to make this content for the DigiByte community. I think that the DigiByte community is probably one of the most in the know out of any other crypto in the space. So we'll continue to watch, and time will tell. That's wait and see, essentially. But that's my prediction, and I'll stand by it. Anyways, my name is FaZe Crypto. This has been a video about DigiByte and cryptocurrency space. Hopefully everybody out there is staying safe, staying healthy, and staying awake and relevant to all the different things that are happening. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.